Joan, first of all, thank you for that kind introduction. You know, when they start calling you the dean of something, you feel a little bit on the old side. So, but I appreciate that kind introduction. I want to thank Joan, Martha, and the Know Your Town group for your invitation for me to be here today as well. And it's so nice to look out and see this room full of people who will be participating in this democratic process tonight. Joan mentioned that I've been at ABC 40 now for over 40 years. In fact, next month, it'll be my 43rd anniversary at ABC 40. And as she has mentioned, you can applaud if you want. I know somebody wanted to applaud there. And as she mentioned, I do a lot of the political reporting for ABC 40 and Fox 6 as well. And I always enjoy getting out and interviewing candidates and covering different political events. But it is always and particularly refreshing to be part of an active role in democracy as we are tonight as your moderator, to see this happening firsthand, live and being broadcast and taped as well, so a bigger audience will be able to see later on over the weekend as well. So it is a thrill and an honor certainly to be here. And you know, I got to admit though, when Martha first called me up several weeks ago and asked me if I would be available, we checked our calendars and she said it would be on March 31st. And I checked, everything looked good, so I said fine. And little did I realize that on that date we'd be coming here thinking about a snowstorm. But it looks like we may be getting one on Friday, April 1st, at least a couple of inches of snow. So that was a little bit of a surprise as well. But thank you for being here. You know, I'd like to thank the candidates for their participation as well. And what I would like to do before we get to opening statements, just quickly introduce the candidates you see before you from left to right as you're looking at the stage. And then we will get to the individual opening comments. So as we go left to right, the candidates are Robert G. Judge, a candidate for Select Board, Francis DeToma, candidate for Select Board, and Chester Sinclair, a candidate for Select Board. Then we have three school committee candidates, Robert Abrams, Kevin McAllister, Barry Waite. We also have a Board of Health candidate, Michael Rosner, and the Municipal Light Board candidate, Dale Johnston. Those are the individuals who are up here this evening. Who will deliver his opening statement is for the Municipal Light Board seat. This is a three-year term. There are two candidates for one seat on the Municipal Light Board, and one of those candidates is here this evening. He is Dale Johnston, who will give us his statement. Mr. Johnston?
Thank you, Mr. Hershel, for being here. We appreciate it in South Hadley. And thank you, Know Your Town, for having this forum available for the candidates, and thank you for the viewers that are watching tonight. There are four areas I will focus on if you elect me to the South Hadley Electric Light Board's Board of Commissioners. Area number one is I will work to keep electric rates as low as possible. Area number two is I will improve communications between SHELD, which is South Hadley Electric Light Department, Town Hall, and ratepayers. Area number three is I will promote energy savings programs and information to the public, to the ratepayers, so that you can save on your electric bills and so that we can conserve energy. Area number four is I will utilize SHELD's fiber optic network to provide new services to existing and future residents and businesses in South Hadley. And I'd like to share some of my South Hadley volunteer resume to you. I was a town photographer during the 250th year anniversary celebration, and I spent about a year going around South Hadley taking pictures, and then the following year I composed a book, the South Hadley 250th anniversary book, with members of the South Hadley Historical Society. I took about maybe 3,000 or so residents' pictures out of a town of 17,000. So it's a very nice book. Please go to your public library to take a look at it. It has a lot of history and a lot of pictures of people from South Hadley. I was a member of the Master Planning Committee, so-called CPAC committee, the Comprehensive Planning Advisory Committee, that is trying to shape positively South Hadley's future. And I did a fair amount of work on that over a couple years. I was also a member of the Economic Development Subcommittee on the CPAC committee that was trying to focus on more of our economic development in South Hadley. And I have a presentation on the South Hadley Chamber of Commerce website if you care to look at that. I'm a chairperson of the Electronic Communications Advisory Committee. I serve on the board of directors of the South Hadley Granby Chamber of Commerce. I'm an elected town meeting member. I am a member of the Cable Advisory Committee. And of course, I'm a Know Your Town meeting member as well. I have substantial new technology planning experience, business planning experience, and 3 college degrees that I will hopefully benefit the SHELD board by these experiences. And I look forward to any of your questions coming up. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johnston. And that concludes the opening portion of our program this evening, our opening statements from each and every one of our candidates. We will now move to the next part of the program, and that is the audience questions to the candidates. Let me just remind our candidates that the questions that will be asked, you'll have 2 minutes to which to respond. And if the question is directed to a candidate where there are other candidates running for office, those candidates will have an opportunity to offer a 2-minute rebuttal, if you will, too. We'll take questions from the audience if somebody feels free. Thank you. Our next question is directed to Mr. Johnston. Fiber optics is expensive to implement. However, don't our schools need this now, and why hasn't it been implemented?
Fiber optics, depending on what the application, can be expensive versus the alternative. It depends what the application is in terms of the bandwidth requirements that are present for it. In our school systems, we're increasingly using more bandwidth. And what's bandwidth? It's the amount of information that you're pushing through whatever medium it is. Fiber is a high bandwidth service, and I think that we should be actually looking at interconnecting our schools and fiber optic cables. SHELD has recently acquired an excellent backbone fiber optic cable, basically almost for free from the 5 colleges. And so we have gotten this fiber at almost no cost to us, and there are just wonderful things that we can do with it for a substantially low cost. So yes, I think, Ray, we should be developing that network, at least investigating it.
Okay, and gentlemen, thanks for your succinct answers, because it looks like we've got a lot of questions, so we'll try to get them as many as we possibly can. We appreciate your succinctness here. A question now for Mr. Johnston. What is the plan for South Hadley to keep its rates steady if Vermont Yankee goes offline?
Thank you for that difficult question, Ray. Maybe I'll ask my opponent to answer that first. First of all, to just understand in general our rate structure, if you look at your electric bill, there's about 8 different categories that you'll see on it. Of those 8 different or so categories, maybe about 4 of them actually apply to costs that are controllable by SHELD. In other words, SHELD is really a distributor of electric power. And so, we can decrease costs in our plant and do a number of things to affect a certain portion of your electric bill. Other things, like the power that we are supplied by our regional power suppliers, is a bulk of your electric bill, which we have a limited control over in terms of the municipal pool that we are in and what we can select or not select in terms of a power source, I believe. That is a difficult question, though, and I think I better wait until I have a little more inside information to give you more detail on that, because it's kind of a what-if question on one of our power partners that would be supplying us with power.
Thank you.